Hey guys, this is Marcia, and you're at home with Marcia trying to cook some vegetarian food. I know a lot of people out there who are trying to transition from meat to vegetarian or vegan do have some issues trying to figure out what to eat, what to cook. So the whole idea of this is just to give you some ideas as to what you can do, some quick meals that you can do, and just to help out during the week, or a quick meals put together for the weekend. So what I'm going to do today is just literally flow with whatever I have in my refrigerator, what I have in my pantry, and try to put something together and show you how we can make and prep for different meals. So, disclaimer, Marcia is not a chef. I like to cook. I like to cook vegetarian meals, and that's all I do. I do follow Dr. Sebi's list, because that's more of the electric type food, alkaline type food. Sometimes I mix other things with it, but typically that's the route I am going. So that's why you'll see me only use certain types of vegetables and so on. So that's my big disclaimer. Marcia's not a cook. I just like to cook. Okay, so let's start. And I'm thinking about making a pumpkin soup. So I am going to start off by getting my pumpkin. So this, other people call it a squash, but it's just my typical Jamaican type pumpkin that I like to use. And it was a big round one. I chopped it in half, and I actually have some already diced up over here. So I'm just going to start off there, and that's going to be the majority of what's going to be in my soup. How do I start my soup? I do not use the box-based, stuff that they give you to start your soup. I don't use those. So typically I start mine from scratch. Yes, it takes longer, but at least you know what's in it as opposed to, buying the box stuff, okay? So we're going to start off by getting a pan and start sauteing some onions and bell peppers and so on, and then start adding all the other vegetables on top. Let it cook down for a little while, and then I'll add some other secret ingredients and let you know where we are from there, okay? So I'm gonna grab my pot, wash it real quick, put it on the stove, and get going. See you in a bit. So I'm quickly just gonna put a little bit of oil. I'm just put a little, just maybe a tablespoon. It's not a lot at all, just enough to saute the onions and stuff. And again, I'm using grapeseed oil, okay? So that's the kind of oil we use. We use coconut oil, we use grapeseed oil for cooking, and we use olive oil for other cold type items like salads, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna let that just warm up just for a little bit. And then I'm going to add my already diced up onions once it's ready. And then I'm going to grab some more bell peppers just to go in there. And you see this fancy little bag. You probably wonder, what the heck is this chick doing? So basically what this is, I found these online. And when I go to the supermarket, I come home, I wash my vegetables, and I put them in here. They're very thin materials, so they sort of like drain all the liquid out. And once you put it in your refrigerator, your fruits and veggies last much longer. Promise you, it lasts a lot longer as opposed to Ziploc bags. So that's the reason why they're in here. Okay, so I think test one. Yep, it's ready. Have that going. Turn that down a little bit. And I'm going to add to that some leeks. And leeks are basically from the green onion family, basically. So I'm going to add some more flavor to the base of the soup. I'm using the tops because the tops are where a lot of the flavors are coming from. So that's why I'm using a lot more of the tops of the leeks as opposed to the bottoms. Okay, I think this should be enough. In there. I'm gonna get me some sea salt. Again, I'm not a chef, so I don't know what to say. A couple pinch here, a couple pinch there, or certain things. That's what I do. I'm using curry. It's gonna sound very strange, but I love curry, and I put curry in a lot of my cooking. It's gonna give me the color that I'm looking for as well, because these pumpkins are not as bright as I thought they would have been. It's a little bit on the young side, so it's not going to give me that nice depth that I like, and plus curry gives me a nice flavor. Okay, so that was about a tablespoon. And then turmeric. Turmeric is very good for you. Very, very good for you. So whenever you're cooking or juicing, just try to remember to put a little turmeric in your cooking, and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon to my turmeric in there. I went to Trader Joe's a few weeks ago and I found this all everyday seasoning, and it has a lot of good stuff in there. It has mustard seeds and black peppercorn and coriander and paprika and chili peppers. Nice mix. So I like to add a little bit of that in there. I like the flavor combo that does give me. That was probably about 6 times I did that, thereabouts. And then I have one more, and the reason why I like this particular one because it has a lemon note to it. So 2 of that, and that's pretty much it, except for another ingredient I love working with is ground cinnamon. Again, very good for you. Nothing wrong with you splashing a little cinnamon on anything that you're cooking. It is perfect, okay? So do that, stir around a little bit and let that saute down some more. I have my fire turned down, so just a toops to let that continue to do its thing. In the meantime, I'm going to grab me one green bell pepper and 1 red pepper. So I'm just going to dice a few of these and just put along with my onions, get a little bit more depth. Okay. I'm going to use green as well. Okay, as soon as that's finished sauteing and I feel like it's it's cooked, ready to go, I'm going to add some water and start chopping up my vegetables and add those to that pot as well and get my soup going. Okay, so instead of buying the box stock, this is what I do. This is the base of my soup. Basically, I'm developing flavor. I'm developing a stock, homemade stock, as opposed to the box stock, etc. Our alkaline water. This one is from Trader Joe's. That was about 2 cups, trust me on that. This one's from Trader Joe's, and obviously we're trying to always use alkaline water in our cooking for all the health benefits for it. And here, we're just gonna leave that now to put down. And once that's doing that, I am going to get some fresh herbs. First thing I'm gonna do is to put some Kashwani pepper in, and this one's a good one. It's firm, slightly bruised here, so I'm going to be careful to make sure that it doesn't burst and explode. For me personally, I don't care because I love heat, but a lot of people don't. So for that reason, I just try to make sure that it doesn't get bruised and doesn't get too overpowering when it comes on to the heat. So what have I just did? I'm just rinsing out some oregano, about 3 sprigs of that. I love my thyme, so I got some fresh, beautiful fresh thyme yesterday from the grocery store. So I'm just gonna wash a few of those, add that to the pot. And I have a little basil. I didn't buy a lot of basil this time. I'm actually traveling soon, so I only bought a small bunch of basil. So I'm leaving some for later on because I tend to season twice. So that's basil and sage. 2 things left, sage and bay leaf. Bay leaf is really good when you're making your soups. It really helps to bring out that flavor. And then I like a little bit of sage as well. Sometimes, we use the dry ones, the dry bay leaves, but yesterday I found some fresh ones, so why not go fresh as opposed to dried? So now, see that color? So nice and colorful that is? Beautiful. That's how I like it. So then I'm gonna add these diced pumpkin. And the reason why I'm doing that, because once it's developing flavor, I want the pumpkin to also get very soft, so we can, you know, have it pureed properly and, you know, get the soup thickness that I'm looking for and the flavor of the pumpkin that I'm looking for. So trust me on this one, it's about 3 cups of pumpkin I just put in. Okay. So I'm gonna let that just cook down for a little bit. I'm gonna put my pepper right here so I don't lose it. Then I have some chocho. This is a Mexican squash, and I know it's called something different in Mexico, but in Jamaica we call it chocho. Okay, it's basically from the squash family. I love it. Not a lot of people like it, but I'm gonna put a few again. 2 handfuls. Okay, you know what? I'll do 3. Okay, let that cook down. Need some more water. Add some more water to it. I'm adding another cup. 2 cups of water. And then we'll leave that now to cook down, which will take maybe about 20 minutes to cook down and start developing that flavor, and I'll show you what else I do with it once it's done. Okay, so everything is nice and all the vegetables are there that I need and all the seasoning is there. I just need to cover this down, cook for about another 20 minutes or so. I'll come back and add some more items to it. Okay, so I'm just adding a little ginger to my soup. And if my mom sees me the way I'm cutting this ginger, she'll be very upset because she thinks I'm taking too much off. But she's not here, so we won't tell. And ginger is another thing that's really, really good for us, especially in this time when everyone is trying to get their immune system stronger. This is one of the herbs that is really good for that. So whenever you get a chance and you're cooking, try and see if you can put some ginger in whatever you're cooking. It really helps. All right. Coconut milk. Okay. So this is fresh coconut. Typically looks like something like this that we husk out, blend, and extract the actual juice. Do they sell coconut milk in the refrigerator, in the supermarket? Absolutely they do. Do I prefer those? No. Do I like the fresh one? Yes. Does it take a long time to make the fresh one? Absolutely. But guess what? It's better. So I tend to use freshly juiced coconut milk. I'm gonna measure this one. I can't believe I'm doing that because I'm not very good at doing that. Ooh, it really caked up on me. Sometimes it does get a little bit caked up, and you just have to just break it. And just stir it around. Make sure you have no separation. Okay. Add maybe 1 or 2. Let's do 2 and 2.5. Okay. Make it 3. A little coconut milk. Okay, and then I'm just gonna leave that there now to continue to simmer. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So it changed the color slightly, and it has that creamy look to it. That's the coconut milk, okay? So I'm gonna leave that there for a while, cook it down, and then we'll do one more thing to it, and then we're good to go. Have some pumpkin seeds. What I'm gonna do is to quickly toast them up a little bit in the lower part of my oven, just so it can add some crunch to my soup. Hopefully I don't burn them like I did last time. I'm going to puree my soup. But don't forget to take Mr. Pepper out. That would not be cool. All right. So I'm just gonna pour as much as I can in here. Okay. It's probably longer than a couple of seconds. Ooh. And I'm gonna pour it right back into this spot just to finish it off. Okay. Quick stir. Combine it all nicely. See? It's not getting some body. And I'm gonna put back. I'm just gonna do one more tasting just to make sure everything is still has a flavor. Yeah, okay, yep, pretty good. Put it back on here. I'm gonna put Mr. Pepper back in there, more flavor, and then I'm just gonna add a bit more fresh. That's my basil. Okay. And then is some orange zest. Got my zester, got my orange, just do a few. Just to punch up the flavor a little bit. With a pinch of zest. Okay, then I'm just gonna cover this bad boy and let him simmer for another 50 minutes or so. By that time, my nut should be toasted up, and then I might just share a couple out right now for people to try. Okay, awesome. Try not to get the herbs in there. All right, so in closing, this is what we did. We made our homemade pumpkin soup, and I added coconut milk to it just to give it a bit of a punch to it. I put it into the food processor just to kind of make it smooth. Personally, I like chunky soups. I like a soup that has all the stuff you can bite into. That's my favorite type of soup. But I know a lot of people prefer if it's, pureed. So I do. That's the reason why I did it that way. But sometimes I do a mixture of pure part of it and then still add additional vegetables to it to give it that chunky. So when I'm eating something, I'm getting the nice smooth taste of the soup, but at the same time I'm biting on something. And then don't forget to add some kind of nuts. And when you're serving your soup like this, that is kind of like nice and smooth, you want to add some texture to it so that the person is eating, enjoying the mixture of the two type of textures in their mouth. Because when you're cooking and you're trying to please people, you're trying to please their palate, and you need a combination of flavors, but you also need a combination of textures to please their palate. So that's pretty much it. So thank you again for joining me in Marcia's kitchen. This is my first time doing this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. If you have any questions, by all means, you can reach out and I'll try to help out as much as possible. The whole idea of doing this type of segment is just to show people who are transferring over to becoming vegan or vegetarian that you do have a lot of options that you can do to satisfy your palate and also nourishes your body. So I have a lot more other recipes and ideas that I can do, but there's just so much we can do in one segment, so leave that for some other time. If there are any sort of like recipes or meal that you're normally accustomed to and now you're transitioning over, you wonder how you could make it vegetarian, by all means drop us a line and we'll figure that out as well as to how we can make your favorite meal transferred over into a vegetarian meal. Again, we're cooking to nourish our body. We're cooking, we're cooking and eating to nourish our bodies. And the alkaline route is one of the best routes. It's very, very strict. So if you can't cope with that, that's fine. As long as you stay away from the meat, you're gonna be fine, okay? So next time I will do a dessert. I will do some juices. Yes, last week I made a papaya juice. It was off the chain. I'm not very good at baking, but I can toss things together and call it dessert. So we'll talk about that next time, okay? So thank you again for joining. Have a great day and hope I'll see you guys soon again. Take care, bye.